What do you mean by restricted?
Like you show an animation character here. Yeah. It has a big head and I don't know. It's
Yes.
not getting brilliant. It's not.
Interesting what you're saying. I like it. Okay, good. Yeah, so maybe you're referring to this problem called the Uncanny Valley. Can somebody explain to me what's that? Video people. You said you had the best video. What's your name? Shema. What's the Uncanny Valley?
It is when the graph is very low.
Which graph?
When the humans start looking scary.
Many humans in this faculty look scary, I tell you.
No, it's like when they do the zombies.
How do you do the zombie? Can you do it?
No. No, it's like when they're trying to make it look like a human, but it starts looking different. Like it's not real.
Okay. If you explain it like that in the quiz. Somebody else? Yes.
Like
Name. Shamsa.
Like it has human features, but it's not human.
It's not human. So, okay, somebody else? Shai.
It's close to the degree that it's scary.
Okay, good. Which one of these videos on do you think it's good to show the people that research the videos? Which one do you think is the best? By the way, you know here you can put things like, yes, very good and stuff like that, right? This one has 2 likes.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch this one. And this one? 2 also, and this one only 1. And this one? Okay, so which one? This one? Yes? Is that yours? Okay, let's see.
Imagine being the monitor that accidentally improved the detail used to make this face. Imagine being the mistake of God that decided it was a good idea to combine this with this. Imagine being the parents of a healthy young Lewis Club member, only to discover that your money is going to the company hosting the spawn from the circular hell.
Is this the
In Dante's Inferno, the second most wretched and sinful souls to have ever existed are tortured by Lucifer himself, their infinite and regenerating skin being torn off by his jagged claws. The first most sinful souls have to look at these things all day. I'm Ruben Sim, and we have to talk about the Uncanny Valley of Roblox avatars.
Woohoo!
If you don't know what the Uncanny Valley is, essentially it's a range of creepiness a lot of illustrations find themselves in when trying to replicate a human-like appearance. Take a look at this WikiHow drawing. Not creepy at all. Take a look at this photorealistic painting. Also not creepy. Now take a look at the character models in the latest Mass Effect game. What the fuck is that? It's very easy to avoid the Uncanny Valley due to
No, this kind of language.
I'm sorry.
cartoonish appearance. And somehow, the collective of
Oh my god, that's up. Let's go.
Okay, this video, watch it at home. Okay, so
I think mine is good. It's animation.
which one is it?
Yeah.
Before the last one.
Before the last one.
Before the last one, let's
This
see.
one.
This one? Let's see.
But I'm always surprised to find how many people haven't heard of it before, or who have heard of it but don't know what it is. So, enough beating around the bush, whatever that means. Let's do this. Let's start off with a little history lesson. The concept of the Uncanny Valley was introduced in the 70s by a Japanese roboticist named Masahiro Mori.
That's not Masahiro Mori, but he was a guy doing prosthetic arms, fake. And he wanted to make it better and better. Right? So he started with a very simple one that didn't look like a hand at all. But then he tried to make the color more realistic, so more close to human. And then the shape. And the more he tried to do that, the worse it felt. You get it? So, and so he discovered this, and he became famous because of this. Do you know this guy, by the way? No? He's a famous robotic from Japan, and the real one is this one. And he's the first one to make the robot Yeah, so this is a silicone rattan skin, like the same we have in the lab. Have you seen this robot head we have upstairs? Well, it's the same, and inside there are some motors. So when you have it there, it looks real because silicone looks very real. And he spent a lot of money, like 100 million dirhams to do this. But it was the first that looked real. It does nothing, but it looks real, so he became very famous. And so he's on the other side of the valley, right? Yes. Anyway, let's go on. What is it here?
The story goes that Mori liked to build robots a whole lot, and over time he started building his robots to look increasingly human-like. And the more human qualities he gave to his bots, the more people liked them.
Yeah, this is not the story. The true story is the one I told you.
Their vaguely human characteristics were charming. They looked
That's the problem with YouTube. There's so many fake news.
like big, bolted, awkward children, and everybody loved them. But as Mori continued to improve his humanoid robots, adding synthetic skin and rudimentary facial expressions and such, he discovered a strange trend. He was surprised to find that people didn't respond to these new robots so well. Oh, sure, other members of his field were impressed with his advances, but just being around these robots made people uneasy. This observation led Mori to come up with a theory of the Uncanny Valley. The premise is simple. If something that is clearly not human is given human qualities, we find those qualities endearing. But give it too many human characteristics, and it starts looking like an imperfect simulation, which we find kind of disquieting or even revolting. But once you get past that and make the object look and act almost like a perfect human, we start to... You know what? Hang on, I'm on the chart. Here we go. This graph depicts the Uncanny Valley theory. It shows the relationship between how human something looks and how much we like it. Let's start at the beginning of the curve. At this point, the object isn't human-looking at all, and people respond to it with a big meh. But if we add a few human characteristics to the object, suddenly it's a lot more appealing. Now it's got personality. It's cute. Or awesome, as the case may be. But then, if we keep adding past a certain point, we hit this huge drop in appeal. Suddenly the object isn't cute anymore. Suddenly we're freaked out.
Are you freaked out here?
Yes.
What?
Very creepy.
Why is it creepy?
The eyes are creepy, but the rest is fine.
Tell me what's the difference. Why is it creepy? Why? What?
Fake.
Huh?
Because it looks fake.
Is it fakeness? But the other looks more fake. So it should be more, according to your theory of creepiness. The other should be more. So what is it?
Because it's
more
more
realistic. How realistic is it? Like,
I'm not convinced by your theory so much now. Let's see. You saying that
Very
creepy has to do with...
it's too realistic. Like, too close to reality.
I'm creepy. I'm really.
Sometimes
Your theory is a bit weird.
I don't find it very
What makes something creepy?
But if we keep pushing past this point, eventually the object will become indistinguishable from human beings.
Who's this guy? It's
And
problematic.
we'll be okay with it again. That area, right down there, is the Uncanny Valley. So why does this happen? The idea is that if an object is clearly not human, then its human-like characteristics will stand out and appeal to us. But if the object is almost, but not quite human, its non-human characteristics are all we're going to see. We know what a human looks like. We see him every day.
Okay, this video is highly unscientific and is an example why sometimes YouTube is not so good to learn. But why is the reason that when something you make it more realistic and suddenly it's not, you feel creepy, this creepiness feeling, where does it come from?
Well, it's
Like their movement is glitchy.
maybe it's when it's in the middle. It's
I'm gonna
the
give you
middle being is perspective.
I'm gonna give you a clue.
So cute.
Did you hear about these guys?
Oh, yeah.
Doctor, I have a question.
You have a question.
Is
Name again.
Is chunky considered as a...
Excellent. Yes.
What's
That's
this?
so cute.
Check.
Okay, the super uncanny.
Right, very good. Yeah, probably. Depends on the person also. This depends on the people, by the way. So the reason the creepiness thing is related to disease. It's something in your brain from the prehistoric age. It's a mechanism of defense. Why is this important? Because imagine you're in a group before, we live in a tribe, and somebody is sick, very sick, and sickness is contagious. and he starts dying, and he starts looking like a zombie. Yes? If you get very close, if you like it a lot, you probably get contagious and die. Does it make sense? You will get the disease, right? If you don't like it, you will stay away probably a bit better, away, and you will not get the disease. That evolved as a mechanism of defense. Does that make sense to you? And that's the reason you find it creepy.
Because it's unusual.
If it looks like a human which is sick, like if you see a human that is bleeding and stuff, you better stay away from it. It clearly has a very dangerous disease, right? But that thing, this mechanism of defense, it's working all the time. So it works with CG, and then people don't understand why I find it creepy. It's just creepy. It's because of this thing. Does that make sense? If you know it's not a human and it doesn't look like a human, this thing doesn't activate. Does that make sense? Questions? Anyway, that doesn't matter, but if you understand it, yeah? Okay, cool. Right, okay, good job, the videos, the people who posted videos. So, let's... Right, somebody interested in the story of this Masamori Mori, the guy who invented the Uncanny Valley? I will send you, they did an article on him on IEEE Spectrum a few years ago, where he explained, and you can see the pictures of the hand he was making and all that stuff, so I will post the link later. It's pretty... He's still alive, by the way. He gave a talk. They gave him a medal for discovering this. But... Alright, makes sense? So, by the way, yes, here you have a typical valley, yeah? This is how realistic it is, and this is familiarity, or you can say creepiness, or whatever you want, yeah? So, likability, whatever. When the thing is moving, there's two values, one for the image and one for the movement. So here you have the moving stuff, so it's more pronounced than if it's not moving. Who was the Chucky? Chucky go. Who was the Chucky? You. So that's why when Chucky moves, when Chucky doesn't move, you're here, but when he moves, it's here. You can use this for your animations or stuff like that. Questions about the Uncanny Valley? So that's why, for example, look at this picture. Do you know this movie, for example? So they, on purpose, made the skin look that you know it's not real. It's too shiny to be human. Get it? It's made on purpose. Or these legs, so you know it's not the real human who is sick or something like that. You get it? So they use if the legs were normal and you see this kind of skin, you will feel like, hey, wait a second, what's wrong with this? So they use this, you will see this trick sometimes they use to avoid falling in the valley, by giving you signals that this is not a human, don't worry. Yeah. Here they use it to the advantage of the movie, right? They change the skin color to look as much as a human as possible, but it's kind of sick. Here it doesn't work because clearly it's questions? So you can use it to your advantage. If you're doing a horror movie or something, if not, if it's for kids, you can use these tricks. Questions? All right, cool. And finally, there's a big debate now. There was a big debate. What do you think is better, animating or simulating? What do you think to make a movie? Should you do keyframing or just make a program with some AI that moves the character? What do you think?
I think the simulation is more easier than animating
animate things from scratch, yeah. It's human involved, yeah. The computer can do the interpolation between keyframes, right? But simulating, you would, just like Fortnite or one of these places, looks very realistic already, right? Definitely, if you want to animate waves, simulation, right? Programming and all that stuff, right? Yeah. But the things are getting really advanced. I'm going to show you one video. It's a baby. It's an AI baby, okay? It's pretty scary, but it's on the other side of the Uncanny Valley, so. What is it? Here. Right. Before we go to this, I forgot to show you an example of the Uncanny Valley with examples. I just want to show you Sophia. Yeah. Is this the images?
The last video in Slack was about Sophia.
Okay. There's a lot to say about Sophia. What do you think about? Okay, let's 1 second about Sophia. So you bring it up. What do you think about Sophia? What's that?
It's
Creepy. Who thinks she's creepy?
maybe kind of.
Okay, and so do you see this thing it has behind?
Yes, they could have put a wig on it.
So why they do that?
So you can see it's a road.
Correct. So that's that one thing to help it be less creepy. So if they put some wig, it
So
would
you know.
it would look really creepy. Does make sense? So that's an example. Where, let's watch this one here. Can you see it? Let's see. Well, here you have some examples. Robot, stuffed animal, some of the toys in your house, I'm sure they look very creepy, right? Who has creepy toys? Dolls. You have a doll, creepy doll. Maybe you can bring it next time. A corpse here, a dead person, or a zombie is here, or a very sick person is here. Make sense? Zombie is. Whoever made the first zombie movie made a lot of money exploiting this. Prosthetic hand, and then Buraku puppet. It's a puppet from Japan from the old age that start looking less creepy, and a healthy person here, right? Where do I put Barbie here? Barbie, you know Barbie, right? Okay, you tell me to stop. I'm gonna just go along the valley.
No, she's out of the picture.
Here. Okay, who says to stop here?
What is the lowest?
Who thinks Barbie is here?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Raise your hand. And who thinks she's here? You think it's here. And who thinks she's here? Okay, so I think most Western people will say Barbie is here. Not here. Clearly not human. The proportions are impossible. The leg is 3 times longer than the body.
Okay.
To me, clearly impossible. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Good. Okay. So now let's go to Baby X. This is one of my favorite programs. It's called Hello World. It's from Bloomberg. You can check it out. They send one guy around the world to check the technology in each country. This is the episode for New Zealand. And there's a guy in New Zealand who helped Hollywood studios to do this, to use simulation in the movies. But now he quit, and he started doing his rich. He started doing his own research. So he made an AI as a baby. So you will see a baby there that looks real, but actually it's an AI and it's a simulation. But it looks like somebody animated this guy with his face. So this is the state of simulation today. It's pretty good. So let's watch it.
Place. It's our primary means of communication. Yeah.
Is it real? How do you know?
I think that
But it's been attacked.
What about this guy?
the skin is too. It's
It's
good.
real.
The skin is so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
The computer can express.
What about this one?
It's not real.
Come on, seriously?
itself too.
Almost details.
In a
Yeah.
They're very
On point.
human
especially
mind,
the
what
skin.
There are some humans in the lane that are less realistic than these ones. Okay, anyway, none of this is real.
age is emotional, it's cognitive.
No.
What about this one?
You just said that.
You know why? You know? The glasses are clean!
That's when you start getting to this sort of interesting place.
Go to see an AI baby.
So that's New Zealand, by the way.
Sorry, afternoon.
The fellow you meet next is a madman in the best possible way.
You're going to pull the muscles which basically lower the brow.
He's Mike Sager, a computer scientist at the University of Auckland.
So nose wrinkle would be, yeah, let's see, nose wrinkle. Inch his nose up.
Mark became famous for building super detailed simulations of the human body and ended up winning a couple of Oscars for his work on films like Avatar and King Kong.
So he was working for Avatar. Did you watch that movie, Avatar? So he won an Oscar. You can win an Oscar too.
Let's go here and,
These days, Mark is, how to put this, trying to reverse engineer the human brain. He's built a series of simulations around how the human face moves, how we express emotion, and how our neurons fire.
we're trying to build a computer which has experiences, can imagine, and basically it has its own sort of existence in a way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run Baby X. What we're building here is a computer that can learn. So this is Baby. She's sort of just looking at us and hearing us, so I make loud noise. And when she gets right, this is what she can see. So you can see my face here. Can you see that? Right? So she's not copying my smile, she's responding to me. And now this is her little baby's first word book. So you can pick a page and show her something, but she has to be looking at it. So get her attention.
Hi, baby. Hi. 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 What do you see? What's this? Puppy. Very good.
Aww, so cute.
This is because we're in New Zealand, you've got to show her sheep.
You're happy with the word, yeah. Hi, baby. Hi. What do you see, baby? Sheep. Very good, baby.
Our long-term goals is, can we create a computational model of consciousness? Because then you can go, okay, the computer model has just become conscious of something. Is that thought or not? Now, all the facial expressions, everything's driven by neural nets. So as we look around, what we're going to do now is remove her face, basically. And so this is what's driving in the background. And so what you're looking at now, these are all the connections lighting up, like as the baby's doing stuff.
This is like a simulation of what would
Yeah,
be happening in
right.
a person's brain.
Yeah, because if you're going to make a character biological and behave naturally, then you've got to use a natural model. So that's the sort of what's going on inside the baby is. Now we take this stuff and we now connect it to cognitive computing systems. So you've got biological neural networks connected to artificial intelligence models, and the potential for that's enormous. That's where the future's probably going to be.
Wow. Awesome. Questions? Did you like it? No. No? It's lovely. It looks very real. You don't like Baby X? You like it? So that's the state of the art of simulation today, more or less, yeah? So it's pretty close. So who knows, maybe in a few years, you just will have AI actors and you will tell them what to do and how to act. Like, I want you to act like Marilyn Monroe, and this is your script, do it. And you show 1,000 movies of this actor and he will learn the way, and next is going to be professors, right? So you will be able to choose, like, I want Keanu Reeves to teach me the class. I don't know, you don't know Keanu Reeves, right? No. Who do you know now? Justin Bieber. So, do you get it? Okay, well, cool. Simulation keyframing, so we're not there yet, but it's coming very fast.
So they use it in video games. Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
in many video games,
they started using this.
yeah.
They took everything, like the actor, they took the same identity.
Yeah, I remember 10 years ago I was in Tokyo when I was in a party and I met this guy who worked for me, Konami. And I asked him, what's your job? And he said, AI. I take care of the AI. So what AI? Of one of the characters in the game, Full Metal Gear Solid. His job all the time was to take care of one of the AI soldiers,
That's with Kojima.
Yeah, with Kojima Productions. Yeah, very good. Yeah. So my friend used to work there. Very tough place to work. So we'll spend one day talking about this guy called Kojima. Very interesting story. Make sense? So you played Full Metal Gear Solid. You played? Wow. Who else played Full Metal Gear Solid?
I saw my brother playing it.
Okay, well, check it out.
The new one.
We will discuss this game because it was a very important game in the history of video games. It was the first game to use cinema ideas in the game, and that's why it became very popular.
But he has its own company now.
Kojima Productions, that is together with Konami. Yeah. Very tough place to work. My friend was working there. He's still programming in C++. Really tough. I don't know what are they doing now. No, Kojima Productions.
That's his family.
Is it good?
It looks really clean.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Wonderful. And this is for the first chapter slides. Sounds good? So the quiz will be about what we taught in the class. Definition of animation, what's a keyframe? I will ask you little things like that. Questions? Right. Now here you have Sophia there. You see Sophia? And her...
No.
What about this one? She's
Right, so that's on purpose. By the way, if you say Sophia is AI to any data scientist or serious AI researcher, they will be upset. So, because most of the time there's a guy, if you go to any of these events, you will see somewhere a guy with it's totally scripted, it's not AI at all, or autonomous, it's just telecontrol. Some people get very upset with it, especially this guy. This guy is famous for he doesn't like when people say Sophia is AI because it's not AI. Okay, this is the chief AI scientist at Facebook, and he's one of the fathers of deep learning. Sophia. I'm sure there's some meme. Sophia. There are some memes in the internet. Let's see. Meme. Why is the Arabic speaking activated? No. Wow, this is so difficult. Me. Let's see if Google is smart enough. Now, I cannot find the meme, but it's a very funny meme where Yaleton wants to kill anybody that says that Sophia is AI, okay? Anyway, good. Questions? All right. And now, every year we watch this documentary. It's a bit long. It's 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we'll start watching it today. As I said, take notes. If there's something you want to clarify, interrupt the movie and we put it on pause and we talk about it. If there's something. This movie is in the Dropbox and in the Blackboard, so you can get it from there. You can watch it at home as many times as you want. And if you feel like it, you can watch it at home, and then we come to class discuss it. Otherwise, we can also watch it in the class. Does that make sense? But we'll decide. You tell me what you want to do later. Yeah? Okay? Good, so let's start. One of the best documentaries ever. What is it? Here. Can you see it? Okay. Ew. This whole screen, yeah. What is this? What? Come on! What is it? He's gonna be in the exam question. What is this? What? Ah! Zeotrop? Are you sure?
No.
Yes.
Sure.
That's the code.
It's not a peritoscope. It's a zeotrop. What is this? It's a horse. Do you know this guy? Popeye with spinach.
Yeah.
Because
He eats spinach to like save his wife.
oh yes, no, he eats spinach to be strong to save his wife. But the reason he eats spinach is because the iron in the spinach. You know that?
Yeah. Then he becomes very strong.
But did you know that spinach don't have a lot of iron? Did you know that some scientists printed a book with the iron in different plants, and they made a mistake, and they put spinach 137, and it should be 13.7, and then somebody read this, and spinach is the number one iron, and then he needed to eat something that was healthy, and now that's why now it's a lie. I'm saying. Yeah, anyway. What is this?
No, it's
Where are we in the Uncanny Valley?
with the old lady.
The old lady
It's not that kind.
looks more real than her, right? You get it? She doesn't look real. She looks too perfect. What is
This
this?
one I can't.
What is this?
I don't know.
What animation technique is this one?
This one's stop motion.
Stop motion.
Stop motion. Stop motion.
That was the weapon.
Name of the movie?
This is
Something.
Yes.
puppy.
Yeah.
So, Mary Poppins was, I think, was one of the first to mix animation and real picture, which is an innovation. What is this? Bonus point if you get it. What is this? It's the president of Pixar's hand. The president of Pixar. The hand of the president of Pixar. When he was young in the university, he did this research project. They used it in a movie. Anyway, don't worry, don't cry, you'll have more chances to get bonus points. What is this? Tron. Tron. Okay. Tron is an important movie because it was the first time they used computers to do computer graphics. And this one, do you know this one?
Yeah, this is for picture.
Alright. Today's fun.
To infinity and beyond. For the last 20 years, a group of artists and scientists have transformed two-dimensional drawings into their own three-dimensional worlds.
Art challenges technology. Technology inspires the art.
The best.
Oh, what did he say?
Yeah, he said something.
Did you get it? I'm telling you, you have to take notes everything they say.
Technology inspires art.
And art inspires technology. Did you get it? What does it mean? Well, kind of this is the message of the movie, but basically the reason Pixar became so successful is because they put together computer scientists and artists in the same place. And the artist told the computer science how to do with animation. Remember the principles? And the computer science showed the artist what was possible to do now with computers and before it was not possible. And it was like a virtuous circle where they help each other. It's like a very good combination. Like, I don't know, like strawberry and chocolate.
Scientists and engineers are just as creative as the best storytellers.
What did Steve Jobs say just now?
Yeah.
Okay, you are creative. You can do it. Steve Jobs said so.
Characters we want.
Who's this guy? That guy is the president of Pixar. Remember the hand? That's the guy.
I'm alive.
Transforming the hand-drawn line into a new art form was no easy task. For the last 20 years, these artists face struggles and the risk of failure every step of the way. This marriage of art and science was a combined dream of three men, a creative scientist, Ed Catmull, a visionary entrepreneur,
Who's this guy? Tell me you know Steve Jobs, please. You know it? Yes, yes, yes. Well, some students.
their jobs, and the talented artist
John Lasseter. Who read the paper of John Lasseter? Somebody, you read it. Who read the paper? Somebody read the paper.
Yeah. For the principles?
Yeah. He's the guy who wrote it.
Mm.
It's his fault.
John Lasseter. Together, they have revolutionized an industry, blazed an unprecedented record in Hollywood history. This is the Pixar story. The creative force behind Pixar Studios and the director of Toy Story, John Lasseter, helped pioneer this new art form from an early love of bringing drawings to life.
When I was growing up, I loved cartoons more than anything else. And when I was in high school, I found this book, this old ratty book, called The Art of Animation. And it was about the Disney Studios and how they made animated films. And it was one of those things that just dawned on me. People make cartoons for a living.
Okay. What dawned on him after reading this book? People who never speak.
He started
Who hasn't spoken yet in the class? Everybody has spoken? Name? Hamda? Yes. What did he say?
He said people make cartoons for a living.
Yeah. And why is he surprised?
That's what
He is
he
surprised.
said.
You are surprised, okay, but he is surprised too. Why is he surprised?
Because he thinks it's simple to me.
It's very
What?
He thinks it's simple to me, and he's surprised.
Yeah. He never thought there was a job, which is to make. Because he would do it, he thought it's a hobby or something you do for free, or I don't know. But no, you get paid, you can get paid.
They actually get paid to make cartoons. And that's what I want to do. Right then, right there, it was like I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Who's this guy?
It's not when he was
the same guy.
Which one do you prefer?
She gets the previous one.
What? Who says the previous? Who says this one?
Yeah.
Uncanny Valley, right?
In 1975, John applied to Cal Arts, an art college founded by Walt Disney in 1961.
Okay, so remember, Walt Disney founded in America rich people do charity projects, and this is one of them, Cal Arts. Walt Disney started this Cal Art where they would teach animation, so people would have more employees, right? You get it?
John was accepted into the first program that taught Disney-style character animation.
Wow, incredible.
What they were doing is bringing out of retirement all these amazing Disney artists to teach this class, to get this program started. It dawned on me pretty quickly how special this was.
Among John's classmates were future directors Tim Burton,
What is Tim Burton? Can you see him?
The one with the
John Musker, Brad Bird,
Everyone was kind of on fire about animation. We didn't want to leave it at the end of the day. And not
Wow, beautiful. Look what he says. This is important.
none of us have
Do you have cars?
none of us had cars, so we were kind of stuck there.
What?
cars.
Basically, he's saying what?
Because they are bored and staying
They don't have cars. They have to stay in the dorm.
Yeah.
So they became good animators because they didn't have cars. Sounds familiar?
Yeah, so they work on stuff.
You too can be good animators.
The teachers went home, we taught ourselves.
What? Do you do that?
Yes.
It was a very formative period in college.
I like this animation. Off topic, but it's a photo, right? But they animated the. Well, yeah, they just this moving parts, so it looks less boring, you know.
Everybody showed everybody their film, and everybody was kind of their own director, but he was totally supportive, and you get creative ideas from other people, and we all learned as much from each other as we did from the instructors.
Wow, they said they learned. This is what this class is about. In the second part of the class, the course, you will have to make a movie, and you will have to learn lots of tools that I don't know. So you have to learn from yourselves.
The teachers at Cal Arts were none other than Disney's legendary collaborators from the 1930s, known as the Nine Old Men, who taught the essence of great character animation.
We call it.
Okay, look at these two guys. These are the two guys that appear later in many of the Pixar movies as a homage to them.
The one, we call it the inner feelings of the character. It all comes back to their heart and how they think about it. And always lead, how does the character feel and why does he feel that way?
What is this? Yeah, this is the, remember the wireframe? Yeah.
Nine Old Men, these guys were unbelievable masters of this art form, and yet every single one of them had the attitude of a student.
What is this? In California, very good.
As a student,
Also it's written there. But, yeah.
John immersed himself in everything Disney, getting a summer job as a sweeper in Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland Station, all out for the Magic Kingdom.
Disneyland was a fantastic place to work. Everybody was young working there. It was just, we had a blast. It was really, really fun.
And he was soon promoted to a ride operator on Disneyland Jungle Cruise before returning to studies at Cal Arts.
There's a few times in my life I feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. And definitely when we were at Cal Arts, that was it.
Okay, everybody, wake up, wake up. Come on, everybody, wake up.
John animated 2 short films at Cal Arts. Lady and the Lamb is about a lamb at a lamb store who accidentally replaces its broken bow with a bottle of gin.
Oh no. My lamps, my shop, my gin.
John's second short film, Nightmare, is about a boy who sees monsters when he turns out the lights. Both films received back-to-back Student Academy Awards.
Huh?
I think I saw this one.
So they got Academy Awards. Hello. So these crappy films can get the Academy Awards. You can get it.
But it was something big.
I know. Life is unfair.
An unprecedented record.
Because this guy is so creepy. Anyway, he got an award for that. That was the state of the animation in those days, right? But you still can get something. Like, look at the ski jumps.
That instantly propelled John into the animation spotlight.
This is your second year winning.
Yeah.
Is there a knack to making an award-winning short film for a contest, or is this the real world? Could this film make it commercially?
Oh, I think you can make it commercially because I think the knack that you're talking about is basically entertainment. I think that's what people pay money to go see a film that's entertaining.
Well, he said something important. People, they don't go to see your computer graphics. That is not the point. Make sense? So whenever you make computer graphics, even for infographic, information, people don't, that's not the point. The point is the message.
John's success landed him his dream job at the Walt Disney Studios.
Hello, I'm Randy Cartwright, and this is Randy. How are you? Good to see you. This is Randy. When will you start the film? Oh, off to a good start.
Here it is, April 9th, 1980. This is the past to all you folks out there. And we're going to go inside. See what it's like. Come on. You got it.
Clearly, he's very excited.
Walking into the animation building was built with the money from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. When I came in there in the 70s, I just sensed this history around all of the experience that had gone on before was somehow permeated into the walls.
Hi, Glenn. How are you? This is Gene. He's a directing animator.
Our cameraman, John Lasseter.
It was so great to meet John. There was this immediate sharing of information, of your passion and excitement for animation. He knew a lot about the history and the past.
As his first animation at Disney, John handled the introduction of a lead character in the 1981 feature, The Fox and the Hound.
Have you seen this movie? Do you like it? Really? Is it good? 0 to 10, how much is it? 6.
Together, John and Glenn collaborated on the climactic fight scene. But increasing budget cutbacks had severely limited the multi-plane dimensional look Walt Disney had achieved decades earlier.
Animation was really at a point where it seemed like it was a dying art form. All of the richness and the atmosphere was budgeted out of our films. It was so frustrating.
While the animation department felt stagnant, Tron, a live-action feature using the latest computer technology, was screened for employees at the studio.
Have you seen this movie?
I see that too.
The new one, it's good, but the first one was really good also. When I saw it on TV, I thought, wow.
There Tron was, these light cycles moving in and out of the scene. And we came back to my room and just sat there. And the depression started to turn towards frustration. Like, well, why can't we? Why can't we do that? Wouldn't it be cool?
So what happened? Disney, they watched Tron, and what happened?
What can we do with the graphic?
And what's the difference between Tron and Disney? They're using computers. And Disney still keep framing. Oh my god.
Yeah. Computer animation excited me so much. Not excited about what I was seeing, but the potential I saw. So it's just amazing.
And we started thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we had a background that was moving like Tron did, but we animated the character by hand. It had never been done before. But there's something about John, you kind of get the feeling that doesn't matter. I mean, if it had never been done before, it doesn't mean it can't be done.
John and Glenn soon got approval to experiment with animation and computerized backgrounds. But at the studio, there was a growing fear that the computer was going to make animators obsolete.
I'd say 95% of fellows at the studio were saying, well, you'll never get me to do anything like that. They're ruining everything. And I talked to Don Lasseter about the things he was doing. I said, gee, if you get that much imagination and new types of movement done on a computer, not on a pencil, you'll be ahead of the game. The potential was there at that time, but no one wanted to do it except for Lasseter.
Wow. And why people didn't want to do that?
Because they thought it was impossible to do.
No.
They're used to. They like the classic.
We said used to.
Used to run.
So, yeah, computer better. Why not? Why
It's a
people?
new experience for them.
It's a new experience for them,
Yes.
or a threat,
Yeah.
like Python.
Yeah, they're good at something and they don't.
Yeah, so you cannot tell somebody 50 years old, hey, let's use computers now because this is the future, because first, they don't know anything about them, and second, they have invested a lot in this whole thing, and now you're saying this is worth nothing. You're saying, by proposing this new thing, you're saying, you spent 30 years of your life being the best at this, but now, this is useless. How do you think people are going to feel about that?
They're gonna refuse.
They're gonna hate you, right? But they don't know why. But they're gonna hate you. because you're threatening them, and they cannot change either. So it's like what you're saying is basically you should be fired, you should be gone, and without saying it, right? So it's a very complicated political thing that you will find when you go to work. As young employees, you will propose new things, and you have to be careful with that. How you propose it, to be very slow, very small thing, you know. Otherwise, something like this will happen.
John and his story team were given the approval to develop a script based on the short story The Brave Little Toaster. It would mark John's feature directorial debut and his own opportunity to further explore the blending of computer and traditional animation. After 8 months of development, John was finally asked to present the story to them.
How many months? 8 months. Not 8 months. 8 lassiter months. Because this guy doesn't sleep. He's working all the time.
Head of the studio.
They said, okay, it's time to show the head of the studio at the time, Brave Little Toaster. So we got the presentation together. He walks in with Ed Hansen, and he had this scowl on his face from the beginning. No laugh. We pitched the whole thing. And he stood up and he asked, well, how much is this going to cost? I said, well, it's in computer animations. It's going to be, no more than the regular budget of a film. The only reason to do computer animation is that it makes it, if we can do it faster or cheaper. He walked up and he walked down. It was like, and so about 5 minutes later, I get this call. Ed Hansen calls me down to his office. And I come down, and he said, well, John, your project is now complete, so your employment with the Disney Studios is now terminated.
What? What happened?
They fired
Why?
because he wanted to use computers. And it's not cheaper that time.
Definitely not cheaper at the time, but
It's not.
the future, definitely. Yeah, so you got fired, yeah? Wow.
He got let go, he got fired, because honestly the studio didn't know what to do with him. Even at that early day, this Disney studio that he dreamed about working at turned out to be a really dysfunctional place in reality. And he was a born director, he was a born leader, and his expectation and passion excelled what the studio was doing then.
During a lot of the early days, artists were frightened of the computer because they were under the impression that somehow it's going to take their jobs away. And we spent a lot of time telling people, no, it's just a tool. It doesn't do the creativity. That's a misconception. But there was this fear, and it was everywhere.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement. A state of emergency has been declared and the entire police force put on 24-hour duty in an effort to stop the haunting hysteria. There's no reasonable cause for alarm. These are absolutely false.
The reality of technology was very different from the fear. It was the computer that would take us to new frontiers.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Alright, cool. And we will stop here. Questions? Alright, I'll see you next week. Would you like to watch this movie? There's 4 parts, as long as this one. So do you want to watch the next part at home, for example? Is that okay? Or you want to watch it in the class?
In the class.
You prefer in the class? Okay, good. Okay. I'll see you next day. Tuesday we'll do the first quiz, and you have examples of quizzes of past years in the Dropbox link.